Welcome into the USC Week 4 breakdown, brought to you, as always, by Eckrich, the official smoked sausage and deli meat of the USC Trojans. George Chahrouri alongside Steve Palazzolo. We're going to move forward because only losers dwell on the past. And look, there's a lot to look at with this Trojan team that is exciting and should be praised. And so we're going to talk about some top-graded players on both sides of the ball this week. Let's start with the offense, where a freshman leads the way.
Yeah, there's hope for the future for USC, and it starts with Amon-Ra St. Brown and what he has been able to do at the receiver position, 84.1 grade, and that's number 8 among our true freshmen. You'll see that video here on the YouTube channel as well, all of our top true freshmen. So love what he's brought to the table. And I know there have been some question marks with the USC offensive line. They haven't been great from a run blocking standpoint, but we do see guys like Chris Brown, Austin Jackson, Chuma Edoga up there, very good in pass protection. Aka Cedric Ware also makes the list, where he has not gotten a whole lot of room to run, but only 1.8 yards before contact, but he has created yards after contact, and he has run the ball pretty well for USC. So look, we're looking positive. We're moving forward, like you said. We're moving positive, and we love what St. Brown especially has done, and the future that he is bringing to the USC offense.
It's obvious that JT Daniels loves Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's been targeted on nearly 40% of the routes that he runs, which is just amazing. He's making a lot out of those as well. 4.1 yards per route run is second in the entire Pac-12. So
that's really good. That's one of our best numbers too. I mean, when you talk about receiver efficiency, that is one of the stats to look at.
Yeah, it's very predictive week to week and season to season, and obviously indicative of the talent that you've got and what you can do with it. Let's move to the defensive side of the ball here. Some exciting things from a pass rushing standpoint for the Trojans.
Yeah, and it starts with linebacker Cameron Smith up top. You mentioned the pass rushers. Christian Rector has been fantastic. I know Porter Gusson's getting a lot of publicity, and he was excellent with 7 pressures before the targeting penalty in the Texas game. But Rector's actually been a more efficient player snap for snap this year. The two of them combined are excellent. And plus, we've got probably the best year that we've seen from Amon Marshall at cornerback at 79.5. He's another guy that just has that good size and length, and I think we've been just waiting for that breakout season. I think we're in the middle of it for Marshall. Even though it hasn't been perfect, he's still the most consistent coverage player for the Trojans. And then Cameron Smith, I mean, that's just been a career's worth of production for him. He leads in stops. Those are those tackles in and around the line of scrimmage, has 14 of them. The best tackler on the team, best run defender on the team. Cameron Smith has been the glue to that defense, just kind of as we expected coming into the season, given his experience level.
USC Notre Dame's on the schedule this year.
Is it? Old school rivalry. I love calling games at the Coliseum.
If I hit that throw, I'd jump on that horse.
Traveler?
Yeah, man, that big old beautiful white horse they got.
Man, they're not going to let you ride Traveler.
If I win $1 million, they might.
Come on.
Enter at EckridgeFootball.com for your chance to win $1 million at the USC Notre Dame game.
Fight on, baby.
We always talk about how important coverage is, and at the beginning of the year, we said, look, it's time for Amon Marshall to step up and fulfill all of the hopes and dreams that people have had for him, and he's done that, as you mentioned, allowing a reception once every 29.3 snaps in coverage, just 3rd best in the Pac-12. So a lot of bright spots for this USC team, and as we look ahead now to Washington State, it's time to get the train back on the tracks here. So what are some key matchups? Let's start with the USC offense versus the Washington State defense.
I mean, Washington State's defense is just loaded at cornerback. Probably the best just straight-up trio of coverage players in the Pac-12 right now. Darian Moulton's a guy that's got just has a ton of experience. 4 years over there. He was playing when he was a true freshman, and he's been consistent there. So it's going to be tough to get the pass game going. So you're looking at Amon-Ra, you're looking at the backs again. Last week I was saying get Ware out of the backfield, get Stephen Carr out of the backfield. I do think it's going to take a little bit of creativity from USC, mixing it up and getting the ball out of JT Daniels' hands. And it's going to be a challenge, maybe having the receivers beat those corners for Washington State. So I think it's all about spreading the ball around this week from a pass game standpoint.
And looking at some specific matchups, you mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's run 63% of his routes from the slot. We know how lethal the slot can be when utilized. And Washington State has sort of a feast or famine from the coverage side of things in the slot. So Jalen Thompson has been really good, but
yes.
Skylar Thomas has not. So I would look to try and feature Amon St. Brown out of the slot when matched up with Thomas as opposed to Thompson. That could be a little edge for the Trojans.
Yeah, Thompson, 57.8 passer rating when lined up in the slot. Amon-Ra, 63% we said in the slot. So that matchup, we'll see it often. Just like we said on the other side of the ball last week, Ajane Harris versus a little Jordan Humphrey, that was going to be a key, and it ended up being a key. Not great for USC, but I think the other way we could see Amon-Ra, hopefully step up against a very good coverage safety/corner for Washington State.
Moving to the other side of the ball, we know what Washington State is all about, right? They like to spread it out, get the ball out quickly. Minshew has been so good when he gets the ball out quickly, so 116 passer rating when he throws in 2.5 seconds or less, but that dips into the 70s when he's forced to hold onto the ball for 2.6 seconds or more. So what does that mean? Well, we talked about their pass rushers, right? And if you get the ball out quickly, it's hard to have an effective pass rush, which means all of a sudden the cornerbacks are in full focus. So how do you see that one playing out?
Yeah, so this is one of those teams that essentially takes Iman Marshall, and it puts the spotlight on him, and it takes guys like Porter Gustin when he comes back from the suspension. It takes Christian Rector a little out of the game. I mean, if they get 2 or 3 pressures, then that's a very good game for those guys. So it is going to be on Marshall. It's going to be on Ajane Harris. It's going to be on those guys on the back end to cover. And Washington State, the same thing we're telling USC to do offensively, Washington State does it well. They've got 7 guys that have 10-plus catches. They spread the ball. It's that Mike Leach offense, 4 wide, almost every time out there. They run the ball better than they had back in the old Mike Leach days, but it's still a passing attack, George. It's all about the pass game. So expecting a big game from Marshall and a big game from Harris if USC is going to come out on top.
You pass to set up the run. Mike Leach gets it. He's a smart man, that guy.
Certainly is.
And hopefully, as you mentioned Ajane Harris, hopefully has a rebound from that last game. Hopefully he's focused on the future as well. As we always are, here with your USC Weekly Breakdown, brought to you by Eckrich, the official smoked sausage and deli meat of the USC Trojans. Don't forget to pick up Eckrich smoked sausage at your local grocery store for this weekend's tailgate, or if you're staying at home, the home gate works too. Visit EckrichFootball.com for great game day recipes and to enter the season-long $1 million challenge.